Information and Communication Sciences at Ball State University. He was given a graduate assistantship which covers his tuition and also provide him with stipends. So it is not just about the GPA, it is about what you do with what you have. The GPA is very helpful, but there is more to a good application. Now, here is the truth. If you have a low GPA, you can still get good funding to come to the US, but you have to do the right things. You have to put in a lot of work. It's about crafting a statement of purpose that tells your story. It's about building a resume that aligns your academic and career experiences. It's about getting strong recommendation letters. It's about doing an evaluation depending on your situation. It's about taking the GRE depending on your program of interest and your GPA. It's about taking the SAT if you want a full undergraduate scholarship. It's about applying to the right schools based on your background and academic credentials. In my one-on-one visa interview coaching program, I have come across students who told me they applied to schools I recommended and they got full funding to start this fall 2025. One of those students even told me that she went for the visa interview a year ago and she was denied because she didn't have any funding. And so she went through the list I suggested and she applied to two of them or so, and now she has full funding to come to the US. The study abroad process is also about doing the right research, even if it means sleepless nights. It's about starting the process early and submitting your best work. I have a lot of great videos to help you get started on this channel. I like to push students to give their best because funding is very competitive. Any scholarship that is automatic is a small amount. Good funding requires you to submit an application that stands out. For your application to stand out, you have to treat the whole process seriously. I am not here to lie to you or sugarcoat anything so that you will like me. I am here to tell you what works and how to avoid wasting money, energy, and time. I don't want anyone coming to the US and suffering, especially if your family isn't rich. That is why I try to provide you with all the right information to help you get good funding and help you pass your visa interview. Everything in life requires work. The more work you put into the process, the greater the reward on your investment. There are no shortcuts in life, just smart, consistent effort. So if you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel so that you get all the reliable information that can make your dreams come true. Also, check out my ShaiPod channel, which is my podcast where I interview international students about their journeys from admissions to life abroad. I do my best to ask them the questions you want answers to. I've also created WhatsApp groups where you can connect with other students who are also on their study abroad journey. Many of them are happy to share insights and answer questions based on their experience. I also have a Telegram group where I give students the opportunity for free mock interviews on my YouTube channel. You just have to be in the Telegram group, and when I request for details, you just have to send the details to me or to my assistant. All right, now it's time for us to kick off today's live session. Drop your questions in the chat. Tell me where you're watching this from and share the live session with a friend who needs this. I will also appreciate it if you give this live session a like. It helps the channel a lot. Hi guys, welcome to today's live session. I don't know why I'm happy today. I'm very excited to see you guys. I've already received some of your messages in the chat. So yeah, today I have 5 students that I'm going to interview. I think there are four. Okay, 4 of them are here, but I'm supposed to have 5 students. So maybe that's why I'm excited. Let me know where you're watching this from. If you have any question, right? You can also leave your questions in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. Okay, I am going to begin with who, Richmond. Richmond was here first, so yeah, I like to go according to who joined first. So I have Richmond. Richmond, can you hear me? Okay, so Richmond, what are you going to study?
I'm going to the University of Nebraska at Omaha to study Master of Art Mathematics for Teachers. I've been offered an admission and a graduate teaching assistantship by the Department of Mathematical and Statistical Sciences.
Why do you want to study this program?
Ghana has transitioned from the objectives-based curriculum to a new standard-based curriculum, and this requires teachers to have deeper understanding of student-centered approaches in teaching and learning, and also an understanding of cross-cutting issues such as gender equity, social inclusion, and then also an understanding of integration in teaching and learning. Therefore, studying this program is going to equip me these skills.
I see. Okay. What is your current job?
I am a mathematics teacher with the Ghana Education Service.
Okay. How long have you been teaching maths?
I've been teaching maths for the past 7 years. I joined the Ghana Education Service in March 2018.
So what math courses are you teaching?
I've been teaching courses such as algebra, trigonometry, statistics, and then calculus. Basically, all the topics under the core mathematics and the relative maths curriculum.
So why the University of Nebraska at Omaha?
Uh, I chose the University of Nebraska, Omaha, because the mathematical and statistical science departments provide access to teaching and learning resources, manipulatives such as algebra tiles, Dean blocks, and others that helps in designing engaging student-centered lessons. I was excited that as a graduate student, I will be trained on how to use these resources as well. That is why I chose the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
How did you hear about the school?
Manessa Azuriawuni is an ex-investigative journalist in Ghana. I read from his profile that he studied MA English at University of Nebraska at Lincoln. So when I decided to pursue my master's in university, I decided to research into University of Nebraska. That is where I discovered that there is a campus at Omaha that um, has this program, Master of Art Mathematics for Teachers, which aligns perfectly with my career goal of becoming a teacher, which aligns perfectly with my career goal of becoming a teacher and also helping improve students' learning outcomes in mathematics.
Hmm. I see. Hmm. Um, I see. How many schools did you apply to?
I applied to 3 schools: University of Nebraska at Omaha, Anna Maria College, and then St. Louis University College. I was offered admission into University of Nebraska, Omaha, and Anna Maria College. But I chose University of Nebraska because they gave me funding and also the mathematics department is equipped with teaching and learning resources that I will use to deepen my understanding of the new curriculum that has been introduced by the Ghana Education Service.
Hmm. I see. What are your plans after your studies?
With a master's degree and a 4 years experience as a full master within the Ghana Education Service, I qualify for a principal position. So I'll return to my mathematics teaching role with the Ghana Education Service, and when there is vacancy for the principal position, I will apply for it. This will help me reunite with my family upon return to Ghana.
Reunite with your family. Are you married?
Yes, I'm married to Fatima Adam, and we have 2 kids,
Okay.
Lillian and Goda.
You don't have to tell me the name and all of that.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah.
So your answers are not strong enough, in my opinion. They are not strong at all. Um, the visa interview these days, your answers have to be very convincing. They have to show that you know what you are doing. And so far, when I asked you why do you want to study the master's program, your answer was that uh, Ghana is transitioning from has transitioned from curriculum
Yeah.
based to standard based learning. So what about what do you have to are you trying to say that all the people in are you trying to say the Minister of Education didn't know what he was doing when he transitioned teachers from curriculum based to standard based, which means what you were implying was that they don't know they don't know how to adapt to the standard based learning, right? It's more like new to them. So you are coming to the US to learn and go back. I don't know how that, because you are the only person, right? So if you are the only person, how is you coming to study the program in the US? How is that going to help the Ghana Education Service? Like, do you understand my point? You've
Yeah,
not
and
you,
that's
you you didn't really give a good reason why you want to study the program. You've not said anything. Why? Like, why do you actually need a degree? That way, the answer you gave me didn't really sound good to me. That is not a good answer. You talked about integration of you want to be able to integrate teaching and learning. I don't know what you mean by integration of teaching and learning. Isn't your role right now about teaching and learning? You teach
now
students learn.
the shift from the objective based curriculum to the standard based curriculum
Okay.
requires some form of training.
So what about all the thousands of teachers in Ghana? They don't have the training. So what I
Uh-huh. Yeah, this curriculum has been implemented in USA since 2010. So I
yeah,
believe that studying in the USA will give me a deeper understanding of this curriculum, which will make me effective as a mathematics teacher.
that doesn't sound good to me. I
Okay.
don't buy that, because there are thousands of, I don't know how many teachers are employed, how many teachers are in Ghana, but there are probably like maybe 10,000 or or so 10,000 teachers in Ghana, and they don't have US education, and they are able to adopt the new standard based curriculum. That is what they are using right now, and that is what you have been using. So why will you suddenly say you want to come to the US to come and learn? Like, no, that's all. Find a better reason why you want to study the program. Find a better why. You could have even started by saying you are a maths teacher, because you're coming to study a program that is maths for teachers. So you could have said you currently work as a maths teacher at for Ghana Education Service, and then you can bring a good why, a strong why, because right now you've been funded. The visa officer expects more. This is they expect more from students who are fully funded. I have a video that I made, which I'll post this week, about a student who had 72% funding and he was denied. He was denied 5 days ago, and he didn't understand why he was denied. And so one of the students I'm coaching sent it to me that she doesn't understand why the person was denied, all of that. Meanwhile, if you go through, you see why the person was denied. More is expected of you, so work on your why. I asked you how did you about the program. You said, you mentioned how you heard about the program and all of that. And then you said the program will you in your research you found that the program will give you access to teaching and resources. I didn't understand what you mean by teaching and resources. And even you saying that the program aligns with your career, you were struggling to say that you were thinking about which career. And then later on you said with your career to become a teacher. Are you not a teacher already? So how is the program going to help you become a teacher? Like, so please. Um
At that point, I was lost in the giving of the answer. I was lost somewhere. That's why.
more is
That's what I said.
expected of you. More is
Yeah.
expected of you. So go back to the school's website and do some work, because you have to find a better reason. You said you chose the school. The question I asked you was how many schools did you apply to? If you don't know what to say, you could have just said you applied to, you mentioned the names, and you can say you were admitted to maybe two of them or something. Fine. Then you were trying to give me a reason which I didn't like. You said you chose University of Nebraska because of funding. Funding should not be your reason. I always tell students, you don't choose a school because of funding. You choose a school because of what the school will do for you. So you when you're applying to a school, you don't tell the school that you want funding. No, you tell the school that you want admission. You tell the school, you make the school aware of your credentials, and then you try to get admission. But then in the application, they ask you, do you want funding? Then you say, yes, I want to be considered for funding. So in the application materials, yeah, SOP, there is nothing like funding. There is nothing like you asking for funding. Your CV, you don't ask for funding. Your recommender is not going to tell the school to give you funding. You apply to a school because you want something. You want something from the school. So that's why you apply.
Mhm.
Funding is
Yeah.
a bonus. So don't talk about funding as a reason why you choose a school. Please don't do that. So that is what I have for you. So work on your answers, okay? Good luck to you. Okay, you have funding. Don't let the funding go waste. Put in some work, do some research, go on the school's website. There are a lot of information there. Okay. So Richmond,
Okay.
I hope to hear that you've been approved. Okay, but do the work. If you have full funding, sometimes you go and then the visa officer will just make it easy. Sometimes I've seen some transcripts where full funding students they were drilled like that. So please don't take it for granted. So
Okay. Thank you
Anthony,
very much.
no problem. Anthony, are you there?
Yeah,
Okay, so Anthony, where are you going?
I'm going to University of Missouri, Kansas City to pursue a master's degree in electrical and computer engineering with a concentration on power infrastructure control and security.
Why do you want to study electrical engineering?
I want to study electrical and computer engineering because of its focus on smart grid and power infrastructure control and security, which is very crucial in addressing the challenges faced in operating power grid in my home country. In particular, this program will offer me a global practical skill on power control and security, which is a skill that I need to contribute providing source providing source sorry sir, which is a skill I need to work with big power company like Transcorp Power Limited in developing secure and reliable power system here in Nigeria.
Mm, mm. When I am doing mock interviews, I am listening to understand so that I can give feedback to the student. If I were a visa officer, I'll just listen. If it makes sense, I'll be like, okay, good. If it doesn't make sense, I'll just put it aside. I'll be like, okay, this person probably doesn't deserve or not. Yeah. So the things you're saying to me, I'm really struggling to kind of get your why very well. Why you need a program, right? Okay. So why do you need a program?
I choose master program in electrical and computer engineering because of its focus on power control system, which are crucial in addressing power grid challenges in my home country in Nigeria. In particular, this program offers training in power system security, which is a skill that I need to contribute in development of sustainable solution of power instability in my country. My goal is to use this knowledge to work with big power companies in Nigeria like Transcorp Power Limited in developing secure and resilient power system in my country, Nigeria.
Mm, I see. Mm, okay. Tell me about the program.
I can't get you, Ella.
Tell me about the program.
Okay. The program is a 2 years full-time master program in electrical and computer engineering with a research based on power infrastructure and security. At University of Missouri, Kansas City, I'll be working with Associate Professor Pritam Goli, whose research interests on securities issue in power system aligned with my research interests. This study will equip me with global practical skills on power control and security, which are very crucial for my career goal of working with big power companies in Nigeria like Transcorp Power Limited in developing secure
What is
and
your current
resilient power
job?
systems.
What is your current job?
I currently work at Chukwemeka Odumegojukwu University as a graduate as an academic technologist, where I make use of engineering lab to teach undergraduate students power generation through renewable sources.
So when did you finish your bachelor's degree?
I finished my bachelor degree in October 2023.
So 2023, and you work as academic
Academic
technologist.
technologies. I started in 2025. I got the job in 2024.
Okay. So academic, you teach students about electricity, power and
And yeah,
electricity
power
stuff.
generation through renewable source like hydro, solar,
Mm,
and this.
I see. So why the US?
I chose US because of his is well known for its advancements in technology, and also University of Missouri, Kansas City, through its research labs like Missouri Center of Advanced Power, offers a cutting-edge practical experience in power control and security, which is
Who
very
is
crucial
sponsoring your
for my role.
studies? Who is sponsoring your
My un-
studies?
my uncle, Mr. Gabriel Henry, will be fully sponsoring my study. Is the director and owner of Gabriel's Agro Nigeria Limited, located in Anambra State, here in Nigeria. He his company deals in importation and selling of agricultural tractors, machines, and their spare parts. He earned a stable income of over 150,000 US dollar. He sponsored me because he believed in the importance of medication and the value of my career goal.
Okay. What is your cost of attendance?
It's like 7,500 US dollar.
What?
37,000 US
37.
dollar.
Okay. Mm. Did you get any funding from the school?
Okay, okay. My cost of attendance is my cost of attendance is 40.
It's what?
2,000. I got, but I got
It's
my cost of
48?
attendance is yeah is my cost of attendance is I got a scholarship of this. I got a scholarship of 8,000 US dollar, which now made my
8,000.
deficit to be 8,000. Yes, it's a
Okay.
general presidential scholarship, which made my deficit to be 37,000. But
Okay. So
my
your cost
cost
of attendance
because
is
my this
45.
is 45. Yeah, it's 45, but my deficit is 37.
Okay. I see. Yeah, the thing is, these days when you present an ankle, it's very difficult. Like ankle,
Okay. And this is my second
especially
trial.
you've been denied before.
I will not be failure this year, January 2nd. It was a new year
So
gift.
what has changed?
I believe during my first interview, I was nervous and couldn't explain myself clearly to the VU.
That the visa officer is not going to accept that as a change because if if this is the same profile you submitted in your first interview, then yeah, I would say it's yeah because you don't even work for your uncle, so you are not working for your uncle. Why will your uncle spend $37,000 on you like for 2 years? That's a lot of money. It's it's hard for the visa officer to believe you, and the thing is, a lot of the visa interview now is slightly different from before. Now the visa officers they ask I don't know. They ask more questions, or maybe like they try to pay attention to a lot of things. I think it's a bit tougher these days. Even people with full funding now, it is more common to hear somebody with full funding has been denied, right? So you without funding, once the visa officer looks at on your I-20 and sees that you have a deficit of 37,000, that alone can make them make up their mind, especially given that you've been denied before. So why did you decide to try again when you were denied after you were denied in January? Because you could have improved your profile, get funding or something before trying again. Oh, because
Uh,
your uncle who is into importation of agric stuff, agric whatever, it's yeah, that's not. It's not like your deficit is 5,000 or maybe it's 10,000, maximum 10,000. The deficit of $37,000, uncle, that's that's very difficult. Like in my opinion, you cannot say nervousness. If you had full funding and then you were nervous, or you had good funding and you were nervous, fine. But it's you are probably denied because of funding. So the visa interview these days without funding, it's very difficult. some of your answers were actually good. Why the US? I think the answer was very good. Um, why do you want to study the program? Maybe you could have just gone straight to the point. You want to contribute to finding sustainable solutions to power something that you were saying. Or you could have started. Yeah, it's not directly related to your what you do. It's not like you are in the um. It's not like you are in the industry. You are more like in academics, right?
Yes, I'm
In
quite in
academia,
academic.
yeah, more like in academia. So it's like it's not directly related to industry, but yeah, you could have just been straight to the point. You want to, you know, the Nigerian power grid has this issue, and you want to find sustainable solutions. Maybe there is this technology that has been that is used in the US, which is currently not, which has not been adopted in Nigeria on a large scale. So you wanna equip yourself with this, and uh, yeah, that answer is not so bad like that. Just be very clear about, okay, you wanna you know contribute solutions to that. Have you traveled before?
No, this will be my first international travel, and it's solely for educational purpose.
What about your uncle?
Yes, yes, my uncle have traveled to the US before for business conferences and vacation and come back. Not only US, he have traveled to other countries like Germany, UK, Dubai, Turkey, and many more.
Mm, I see. Hmm. Yeah, because the visa says looking at the fact that you've not traveled before, and thinking, okay, your uncle is rich. How come your uncle? How come? Because it's not so expensive to travel somewhere. If you want to travel to, let's say, Dubai for a vacation, for instance, you probably $2,000 will probably be enough for you, right? So if you've not done any of that before, and suddenly your uncle has $37,000 for 2 years, so if you multiply the two, that's what, $74,000. Hey, $74,000. Hmm. So
But
yeah, without,
the thing is just like the business, like is the business. He entered the business from my grandfather. It's just like it's like a family business. Just like my mother is a woman, and in Igbo tradition, woman doesn't have share in our in some inheritance. So that was why my uncle is now in charge of the business. But as soon my grandfather is still alive, he'll be the one that will be sponsoring me.
hmm, yeah, maybe you should make it dark like that. Uh, Maybe your studies will be sponsored by your family business, which is managed by your uncle or something. Maybe that can be more convincing.
Okay.
But that doesn't guarantee anything, because when you've been denied before, to make it easy for you to be approved, like somebody like Daniel. Daniel was approved before. When he went the second time, he had full funding, and so he was asked only two questions. The first question, he answered it with a lot of information. So then the second question was not even a question. It was more like, I see you have a graduate assistantship. Can I see or something? And that was it, right? So when you have been denied before, you have to improve your profile significantly if you want to have a good chance. So yeah, when you don't find like that, it's very difficult. But I mean, good luck to you. Okay, good luck
Thank
to you.
you.
The thing is that sometimes I'm very careful about advising students, because they won't listen. They won't understand. I will prefer students not wasting money, taking their time and improving their profile, because there are certain things you can actually tell that this is how the visa interview is going. Like, there's a direction of approvals and denials. There are certain things you can see that this is likely to cause your denial. So if you're in a situation like that, you want to improve your application, your visa application, right? Improve your profile before you go again. And if you tell the students, oh, this is not looking too good. There is always a chance, but there is a low chance. So why don't you do this? The student will not understand. They will feel like, oh, I can go again, and they will keep making mistakes, and the monies that they are using for to process a visa, almost $200, is going to the embassy. That money can actually be used to do applications, pay application fees to schools. You do your research, but yeah, it's difficult to. I am. It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I talk to students, the fact that I've been here for so long, when I talk to students about experiences, they just won't understand, because people think, oh, back in Africa things are hard, but you don't want to come to the US and suffer more than someone who is back home, because well, anyways. So
But sir,
Anthony,
uh,
yeah.
like, what do you advise me? Do you advise me I should reschedule and go back, and or I should go, because my interview is
So
on July.
so so my honest opinion on this is that, given that you've been denied before and you go in again, your uncle sponsoring you with $37,000, it is almost likely that your visa will be denied. Almost likely. It's just so difficult for you to be approved, because when I asked you what has changed, you said nervousness. That is not something significant. It's not really something that is going to convince the visa officer. So if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't have even booked another appointment. I wouldn't have paid money for the visa fee or anything. I would have taken my time, and I would have accepted the fact that, okay, things happen. Sometimes, yeah, there will be setbacks. Let me just take my time and then go through the application again, take my time, make sure I'm applying to the right schools. With your current background, your job, that can actually help you get funding. Take your time, you do your research, and that can get you good funding, so that even if your uncle can sponsor you, you save your uncle from spending all that money, right? So that is what I would do. I will not try to apply. I will wait until I have good funding. It doesn't have to be full funding. It has to be good funding, funding good enough, to at least a full tuition waiver is good enough, right? So yeah. So what I can say is good luck to you. The application process, it takes work, but if you put in the work, you get good funding. If you put in the work, if you really, a lot of students, yeah, I make a video, I'll be like, I have WhatsApp group, I have this, and then students will be asking me questions. Where is the link? I'm like, Are you serious?" Because the thing is in the description of the video. So if nothing at all, just check the description of the video, or they don't check the main page of the channel. They won't check. They will be asking questions, and you are like, these people, are they serious? Like, and so for me, I used to answer every question, every comment in the comment section. These days, I see some comments, I'm like, this person is not serious at all, because everything is there. People will be asking some questions that I've already been answered in the same video. I'm like, what is going on? So yeah, it's hard to give advice or talk to students, because you're asking me what you should do, right? What I've told you, you will not do. You will not listen to what I've told you. You still go for the interview. I know that. I know
No,
you
it's
still
not
go
a
for the
time,
interview.
I can't try for, because the night, if they deny me this one, man, I have to give up, because the money is very, very expensive for my side. My
The
salary
thing
is too
is,
low.
the money that you shouldn't have used to pay for the visa fee, you should have used that to, you know now you have a job. At least you have a job that is giving you some money. You could have relied on that, and then save some money, because yes, when your visa is approved, you are going to pay for the flights, accommodation, right? So by now you can be saving some money towards the future, and then take your time, apply to the right schools, do the work. If you do the work, you get it. I'm telling you, if you do the work, I don't know how to say this, but if you do the work, you get it. So yeah, I have a lot of examples of people who were denied, they tried again, they got funding, they came. So yeah, it's hard, but the student will ask you questions, but the thing is that they know what they will do. They are not
No,
even listening to you.
it's
It's funny,
crazy.
right? This one is, so Anthony, good luck to you. Okay, if you're
Thank you.
approved, I'll be happy for you. Yeah, just that I will not wanna come and tell you that, oh, like, when I can see clearly, based on doing mock interviews with so many people, coaching so many people, all these things, seeing so many transcripts, and then I'll just come and be like, oh, everything no, it's just, I have to be, honest with you. So yeah, but in life, there is nothing like impossible, right? Everything is possible. Everything is possible. Just that there are sometimes the probability that something will happen is 0.0005. So it's like, okay, that is a low chance, but it's still a chance, right? So all right. So good luck to you, Anthony.
Thank, thank you.
All right. Mohammed, are you there? Mohammed, are you there?
Yes, boss. Yes, boss. I'm here.
Okay. Who is sponsoring your studies?
My education is fully covered by a graduate assistantship I've been awarded by Villanova University's Department of Public Administration. It covers 100% of my tuition, provides monthly stipend for living expenses, and also include health insurance. Additionally, I have 5,000 US dollars in personal savings to support any extra expenses.
The thing is, I don't like students dwelling too much on funding. I know where we come from. We always, when we get, it's like, hey, like me, for instance, being in Ghana, and then you tell me $5,000. I'm like, hey, $5,000. So when students get monies like that, they are so excited. And you've done a good job
Definitely.
being able to get the funding. So yeah, kudos to you. But at the same time, at the interview, don't present yourself as somebody who is so happy with the funding. The funding, you are coming to work as a GA. You've earned it. So make it look like you've earned it. Don't make it look like you are so happy. And so when you are asked who is funding your studies, you can just make straight to the point. You've been awarded a graduate assistantship, leaving you with no deficit or something, or which covers your cost of attendance. You end it there. You don't have to break it down, elaborate. Oh, it covers 100% of my teaching, my style. No, all of that. The visa officer is thinking, this guy is so happy with this funding. No, don't create that impression. Just focus on that. You can even say, I'm really excited to study this program. After or you can even add that I got this funding based on this. That will make you look at, oh, this guy is an intelligent guy. This guy actually did the work to get the funding. So the visa officer doesn't even have to ask you, how did he get the funding, right? Or if you decide to go the route of explaining why you need the program, you'd be like, oh, I'm very excited to uh, I'm very excited to pursue this program because my current role as this has made me this. I've seen this. I want to do this, so that the visa interview will end quickly because you don't want to spend too much time there, right?
All right.
So
Thank you.
yeah. So how did you get the funding?
I submitted a complete funding application, which included a detailed letter explaining my background, academic performance, leadership experience, and how the MPA program aligns with my career goals. I also explained how the funding is going to help me fully focus on my studies. After that, I was invited to an interview with Dr. Theodore Arabis, the chair and associate professor, and Dr. Lauren Miltenberger, the MPA programs director. Based on my performance in the interview, they recommended me for the assistantship, which was later confirmed by the department.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's not so bad. I've noticed that you like using words like complete, detailed, fully. It's like you like things that are whole, like fully complete, detailed. Okay.
That's right.
Um. So you still mentioned the funding will help you stay fully focused on your studies. This is not relevant. It's the same thing that I was telling you, right? Just yeah. I submitted an application, a strong competitive application, however you want to put it, that included my SOP highlighting this, like you were saying, my resume or CV, uh, highlighting my academic and professional experiences. I submitted 3 recommendation letters from my professor or 2 professors and whatever. I was invited for an interview. The interview part, everything that was good. So just focus on those things. Maybe I had a GP of this. I was the overall this. Or yeah, those are the key things that you should say. How you got to fund it, right? Just don't complicate things. Okay, this funding thing. Don't talk about funding. If they don't, unless they ask you about funding, don't talk about funding. Focus on why you need a program, what the program will do for you, what you do, right? That is
All right.
because the funding thing. If you think about it, it's on the I-20, right? So once you say you have been given a GA, of this, then the visa officer will now look at it and be like, okay, it's correct, it's actually there. Okay, then yeah, your funding is taken care of. So don't focus too much on the funding. So why do you need this? Why do you want to study this program? Public administration.
I chose to study the Master of Public Administration program at Villanova University because the program will equip me with practical skills in public budgeting, policy design, and administrative leadership. Growing up in the Zongos, a marginalized community facing challenges like limited access to education and institutional injustice, I realized that addressing these issues requires more than passion. It demands specialized training in public policy, leadership, and administrative system, all of which are strongly emphasized in Villanova's MPA.
Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, I'll say that works. How did you hear about the school?
After completing my undergraduate studies, I started researching for graduate programs that aligns with my career goals of addressing the systematic challenges facing marginalized communities in Ghana. That's when I discovered Villanova's MPA program. I joined a virtual session and I was impressed with how the program focuses on ethical leadership and practical experience through opportunities like the graduate assistantship and a mandatory internship.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like bad. It's yeah. I don't know. Serious. The G18. So it's not like bad. I mean, the internship thing. Some the US education has a lot of internship opportunities, right? So saying that, a lot of times it's not a problem, but sometimes for me personally, I will always want to avoid the internship opportunities just because I don't want to create any impression that I don't want to return, right? Internship is like you're gaining practical experience, which is fine. So okay, what I'm trying to say is there are some things that students have to pay attention to. The fact that there are internship opportunities doesn't mean you want to say when you come, you want to take advantage of them. Like, yeah, OPT, CPT, these are there for international students. H1B is there for international students. These are part to permanent residency, which are in the US system for international students. But at the interview, they don't expect you to say some of these things. That's the thing. So yeah, internship is fine. You can say it, but I personally, because visa officers, they have different their personalities. So maybe some of them might interpret it as you having the intention of overstaying or staying
Oh,
longer
okay.
than
In
longer
such
than
case, what
expected.
do you suggest?
Yeah, hold on. And also, right now, as a Ghanaian, anything that has to do with work, you want to stay away from it. They said Ghanaians, they come and they don't
Yes.
return. So when you look at all of these things, you probably want to stay away from the GA, mentioning GA, or yeah, you did your research. The thing is that I'm not a public administration student, so some of these things, when I'm coaching students, I even have to Google things to understand what's going on. But the thing is, you have to look at what the program will do for you. What are some of the things you are going to learn from the program? How can you use, if you check some of my videos, you see some of the answers, and that can, but the point is focus on the program itself. In your research, you discover that the program has this ABC, which are things that align with your career to do this. And like, yeah, a science student can talk about lab, economic student can talk about research tools, econometric tools, which will enable you to analyze data sets. And you know yeah, a data analyst person will say, you know complex dashboards to explain business thing, no, give business insight, like those kind of things. So go on the school's website and try to look for something like that, right? What exactly the
All right.
program can do for you.
All right.
Some schools, they will tell you about program outcomes, so you're looking for some of these program outcomes, right? Program outcomes is, they have to do with things that the program will do for you, so you can check if that actually fit into your answer. Then you can talk about some of these things. Does that make sense?
All right. Thanks. Thank you.
When do you finish your undergraduate studies?
I completed my undergraduate studies in 2024, which is last year. I took
So
key course
what did you do after that?
after my
What did you
undergraduate
do?
studies.
Yeah.
I've been working as a junior policy analyst at the Kwabiri East Municipal Assembly. My
Yeah,
roles include.
I always tell students they should not mention specific names, that they keep doing it. I don't know. Today I
Oh,
didn't tell
sorry,
them at the
sorry.
beginning. Sometimes, no, me, I don't have a problem with it. So it is. If you are okay with it, then I'm okay with it.
I'm
The
I'm
names of
I'm
the
I'm, I'm
schools.
very okay.
Okay, then go ahead. Yeah, yeah, you
All
can
right, so
continue.
I'm currently working as a junior policy analyst at the Kwabri East Municipal Assembly.
Mm,
My roles include collecting and analyzing local data to support policy planning and decision making. I also work with NGOs, community groups, and local leaders
mm.
to gather data and improve policies. Additionally,
So,
I also
so, let me just cut in before I forget. So, if they ask you why do you want to study the program, you can even start with your background because it aligns with what you are coming to study. That you work as this, and then you want to study this program because in your work you've, you know, come across marginalized whatever you were saying at the beginning. Then you can tell your story like that. Does that make sense? Because
oh okay.
the reason for wanting to study something, ideally, is always about connecting your
Yes,
background
yes,
to what you're coming to study and how that thing is
yes,
going to
yes.
help you solve something, in your current role. That's how you wanna. Okay, yeah.
All right.
I mean, it looks like you know what you are doing. Looks like your background is good and it aligns with it. You can talk. So yeah. Um, how many schools did you apply to?
I applied to three schools: Villanova University, of course, University of Delaware, and Northeastern University. I was fortunate to be accepted into all. However, I settled with Villanova University because of
Because
the
of
opportunity
funding.
to, because
Because of funding.
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I however I settled with Villanova University because the opportunity to study under Dr. Theodore Rapis, who has written extensively on public budgeting, will equip me with practical and theoretical insight into how budgets are structured, monitored, and also made well transparent. These are skills I want to apply when I return to Ghana to strengthen governance and also ensure that public funds are effectively used.
I see.
Most importantly, Villanova University gave me the most comprehensive funding in the form of a full graduate assistance.
Hey, the way you're happy with the funding, Charlie. Hey, every answer you want to mention funding, but it's good you're doing a smoke interview so that now you have to stay away from the funding thing. Unless you ask about how you are sponsoring your studies, don't talk about funding.
Sure.
Focus on you mentioned right now. You mentioned something that I actually thought it was really nice. Can even come into why you want to study the program. You said you studying under professor whatever whose research on this,
Yes.
budgeting something. I think that can be interesting. I don't remember, but
Yes.
if you,
Yes.
yeah. But the thing also is
Yeah.
that a lot of students they like to talk about working with Professor ABC. Instead of saying Professor ABC, you can say the program's curriculum has this, which aligns with that. For me, I like that one. Than always Professor. It's like a lot of students all they hear is I want to work with Professor this. Yeah, I mean it can work, but it depends on how you say it, right? It depends on if you don't have funding and you are like I want to the opportunity to work under Professor this. In my mind, I'm like you don't have funding, so how are you going to work? If you say you are learning, you want to learn from her, that is different from work under her. Some students they confuse the two. Learn from her means she will teach you. So yes, that one is different from working under her, like you know, or doing research with her. If you want to do research with her, it means that they funded you. They didn't fund you. How do you do research with her? Right? Not teaching. How much funding did you get?
I
Mohammed,
had
are you there?
50% funding.
Yeah, that's what they will give you. fifty
I'm
percent. Then
here.
you have a deficit of 30,000 or so, right? Or how
Yes.
much?
Yes.
Yeah. Not teaching. I
Yes.
did they
I
give you
actually
ten
applied to
thousand.
those schools. Those two schools.
I did they give you 10,000 funding or thirty
Hello.
thousand, and the deficit is always high. So it's like you go for the interview and you have to go with loans. A lot of people they go with loans. Yeah, if you have the money, Northeastern is good. It's a good school. But if you don't have the money, it won't be good for you. All right. So why the US?
I chose to study in the United States because it has one of the most advanced systems of public administration in the world, with a strong focus on transparency, innovation, and citizen centered service delivery. I believe being trained in an environment, I believe being trained in such an environment that has built effective and accountable public institutions will equip me with the knowledge and practical experience I need to help strengthen governance and public service delivery in Ghana. Also, the opportunity to study under Dr. Theodore Arapis, who has written extensively on public budgeting, will equip me with practical insights I can, ap- I can apply when I return to Ghana to improve fiscal transparency.
Yeah. If she has written extensively on something, you can always read it from somewhere, or can't you? Oh,
Yes, yes.
yeah. I mean, the answer works. Your answer, I think it works. There's a difference between, yeah. It's, I think it's good enough. There's, sometimes an answer is good enough and it works. Sometimes, you want it to be very strong, but I think it's good enough. It works. If you wanna focus on, um, if you wanna for me, I like, instead of saying professor, I want to focus on the program itself, the whole curriculum, and maybe
Okay.
maybe areas of specialization. Maybe the area they have an area of specialization which aligns with what you are interested in, that kind of thing. I don't know, I think it's more convincing. But yeah, you working with professor is also fine, especially you having a GA. Yeah. So do you have any relative in the US?
No, officer, I do not have any relative in the United States.
What are your plans after your studies in the US?
With this degree, I'll be returning to Ghana to take on the senior to take on the role as a senior police analyst at the Kwabi East Municipal Assembly, where I'm currently working. My goal is to contribute to the development of legislations that promote access to quality education, addresses injustice, and reduces inequalities in marginalized communities in Ghana. I'm going to do this by collaborating with government agencies and advocacy groups to improve fiscal transparency and also ensure that public policies are not only well designed but also effectively implemented.
Hmm. Yeah. Sometimes you have to look at the season and then try to change things or adapt to the season. So a lot of students, they say, I want to return to take up a role as this. I mean, this has worked a lot. A lot of times it works. These days, I just think about that answer and I'm like, a lot of students use it a lot. So why not? The thing is, there's no guarantee that you are returning and they are going to give you the senior role as a policy analyst, right?
Sure.
So sometimes, depending on how you say it, the visa might be thinking, this guy, hey, stop lying. The visa said themselves, sometimes they know the student is lying, but at least they are like, yeah, especially if you have funding, even when you lie, you can get away with it, right? Sometimes, if you lie about your plans, sometimes, yeah. But right now, it's like, you want to be very practical and, so I will probably want to say, I'll return to Ghana with, maybe skills to, maybe I want to return to Ghana with skills that will enable me to work as to I'm just thinking about something. When you sit down, like when you're thinking about some of these things, it can be very
Sure,
hard.
on the spot. Yes, yes.
Yeah. I want to, you can say maybe the program will, when I finish when I finish the program, I'll return to Ghana. The program will equip me with this ABC to be able to work as maybe a senior. So it's more like similar to what you are saying, but then not exactly as you taking a senior role, because it's not guaranteed. But you want to make it look like you will return to Ghana to work as a policy analyst, and you are going to use the skills to examine this or propose policy solutions, you know, or do research into, like, you you
I
want
get
to
it.
be clear
I
about
get it.
the role you want to assume when you return home, but you don't want to make it look like or sound like it is there for you, right? So you want to make it look like you are interested in returning as a to return to Ghana to work as a senior policy analyst, using your skills. You want to look into this, you want to examine this, like being clear about the skills you are going to learn and how that is going to, maybe you want to um um yeah I what I am saying, right? I'm even struggling because um
But I get you because this is something that has been on my mind. I think it's like it's very common now. That's take on
yeah,
the senior
everybody,
role.
yeah,
Yes,
everybody
it's
talks about
everywhere.
scenario. So yeah, I have been thinking about it lately, and I'm thinking,
Yes,
yeah, why if you want to, if you emphasize more on the skills you are going to learn from the program and how that is going to solve a particular problem, if you are very clear about the program is going to equip me with this so that when I return I'll be able to analyze this or use this framework or this tool to investigate this or propose solutions to government or policy, whatever. If you kind of go that route, I think it's much better. It's more like, okay, this guy is very clear about what the program is going to do for him, instead of just saying you want to take up a senior role as this, right? I've seen transcript like that which got people denied, and that made me start thinking about something that yeah, taking up maybe that my
um okay,
you
so
know
I'm trying to figure something out. I don't know if you would like to hear it.
yeah, you can say it.
Okay, with this degree, I'll be returning to Ghana to leverage on the skills I've gained in public budgeting, policy design, and administrative leadership to conduct a research to identify the gaps in existing education and social policies, engage with communities to gather data and live the experiences, and use that evidence to draft policy proposals.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah,
this is
that can work. You said the skills I have gained, maybe it's in future, so maybe skills I will gain, right? Maybe more like
okay.
skills I will
Okay.
gain from the
Right.
program.
Right.
And maybe you can talk about using data from Ghana Statistical Service to or whatever. I don't know which data sets that public administrators use. So you wanna make it very clear what you wanna do, right? Instead of taking
Yes.
up a role, because it's like taking up a role, like it's not like the role is waiting for you, you know,
Yes.
all of that. But if you make it clear, okay, I'm going to gain these skills, yeah, you can make it like these skills will help you take up a particular role. But if you make it look like senior role, I hope they sound almost the same, but they are not the same. What I'm trying to say, I hope
Yes. I get
you
it.
get my
I
point.
get. I
Yeah,
get. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so good luck to you. Okay, I hope to hear that you've been approved. Okay, so
Thank you.
good luck to you.